And we're back with another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for adult business owners and entrepreneurs, where we teach you how to turn free social media into cold hard cash, how to build a business that pays you better than a good ass job. I am your host, best-selling author Sadon Long, and again, thank you for tuning in once again. And today, man, we're kicking off a new quarter. Don't know how your business went the first quarter, but I imagine if you're watching this, it probably didn't go as well as you wanted it to. So with that being said, we're going to talk about how to make the next 90 days set up the next 5 years. That's right. Excuse me. Next 90 days set up the next 5 years. So, as you know, I do a lot of these make money fast calls where, I actually talk to business owners. And if you want to make money fast call, it's a free 30 with me. Just go over to growandrich.com and click the get started button. It's going to send me an email and I'll set up an appointment and I'll talk with you. And something we talked about might actually make it onto the show. Typically, I don't bring your name into it, but I will bring things that I'm getting from other entrepreneurs into the fold. So, talking to an entrepreneur recently, and they were telling me, man, I'm really ready. I'm really fired up. I'm really, trying to do $1 million this year, which means that they aren't doing 1 million already. And I'm like, okay, cool. You ready? Yeah, I'm ready. So, how many times have you posted this week? None. Okay. How many customers have you reached out to this week? None. So how many of your old customers have you circled back to? None. So what's the likelihood that you're about to do $1 million? Well, I've been thinking about it and I've been praying on it and I've been manifesting. See, this is the thing that I hear all the time, and I want to be very careful and as we talk about this because I don't want to offend anybody. I am a firm believer in everything that person said, that they've been praying on it, they've been fasting about it, they've been doing all that. But you have to believe, you at home, that all your prayer and fasting is the prerequisite to the work. So after you prayed, you fasted, you manifested, you got to pick up the phone and actually start engaging in creating sales. You got to actually get in the DMs. You got to actually get in people's face. Get on, people's email list. Get in the game. Because if you're not doing the things necessary to get sales, how are you going to get them? And I know people talk about, man, all he ever talks about is sales. But the only reason I talk about sales is because that's what businesses eat. And every time I sit down with somebody, every time I've ever sat down with somebody, they didn't talk sales directly, but that's what they wanted. When somebody hears about me, it's like, man, I need a guy for content. But the reason they need a guy for content is because my content was making other people money. And the only reason they called me is because they wanted the benefits of that relationship that I had with that other business owner. Okay. But all business owners are not created equal. So if you look at the successful business owners, they care about sales. They care about the bottom line. They care about the money coming in and out of their bank account each and every week, the P&L, the profit and loss statement. Had a client one time, he said he wake up every morning looking to see what he made last night. So if that is the way that you're going to get to $1 million by getting customers and you're not engaging in the process of getting customers, how are you going to get there? Which is what I asked the person sitting across from me. And they didn't know. They were just kind of like, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get around to it. I'm going to start doing it. But while you're sitting at home saying you're going to start posting, while you're getting at home saying you're going to put together an email, while you're getting at home saying you're going to call this person back, there's somebody way hungrier than you taking food off your plate. There's somebody who's probably not even as good as you at what you do, but they just way more dedicated to it than you are. You know, they way more efficient in the way that they move. You know, they're willing to spend money to hire people like me. You know, so that they can get better results. Meanwhile, you sitting at home, paying for everything out of pocket, putting it on credit cards, when your customers should be paying for your business. So the next 90 days, the first thing I need you to do is figure out what your sales goals are. Not your marketing goals. What your sales goal is. And then I need you to break that sales goal down into how many I need a day. So if the sales goal is $1,000 a week, how many customers do I need a day? If I need 5 sales a day to get to $1,000 a week, and I'm using small numbers because I know some of these businesses who are watching, you're much bigger, but we're just using small manageable numbers. So I want you to be home, but I want to do more than $1,000. But anyway, figure out whatever your number is. And right now we're just using 1,000. So let's just say 5 days a week, $1,000, $200 a day. Okay, I need 5 sales, which means I'm selling something that's like $40. Okay, so now I gotta find 4 to 5 people a day, Monday through Friday, who are going to give me $40. Okay, so now what do those 4 people look like? Now, for me, I like talking to owners. Why do I like talking to the owner? Because the owner can make a decision. They could say, "Nah, I'm good," and we can be done with it. Or they could say, "Great, cool, we can get started tomorrow." The reason I don't like talking to HR people, the reason I don't like talking to people who cannot make a decision is because all they're going to do is misquote, misunderstand, misrepresent me to the person who can make a decision. So you have to figure out for you who the person you need to talk to is. Now, for me, it's the check writer, person who can green light it or red light it. So now, how many of those people, whatever your people are, do you actually need to talk to? Okay, well, typically to get 4 sales a day, I probably need to talk to 10 people. Okay, cool. 10 people, 4 sales a day, 40% close rate. That's it. Now you understand it. Now I know what they look like. So now how do I get them? Now they're going to fall down into 3 categories. They're going to fall into people who know me, people who know of me, and people who don't know me at all. Okay. So now the first group of people that I want to look at is the people who know me. How many of these people do I already know? Okay. Now that can include current clients. It can include past clients. It could include people who inquired 6 months ago. Okay. So that's my first group of people I need to contact. Dear whomever, hey whomever, just wanted to circle back around with you to see if we can't lock in an appointment to discuss the following. Now, mind you, you don't want to say, hey, just checking in, just following up. No, you want to say, let's lock in a time to catch up about the latest things that are going on. Let's lock in and revisit what we talked about a few months ago. Let's do something. You got to give them something to say yes or no to. That's simple. Now, for me, the most effective way to reach out to people who didn't do business with me in the past is, hey, did you ever get your problem solved? Now, that's Dean Graziano. I love Dean, and it's really short and simple. Did you ever get your problem solved? So, because we've established that we need 4 a day. Now, the easiest people for us to work with are people who already know us. Former clients, people who inquired. So now we get those people knocked out. Get them on a list. Get them on a piece of paper. Pull them up in your CRM. Whatever you do. These people are first because they know us already. Either it's a circle back with people you know to discuss, future business or the progress of business, or future, things that are coming down the pipeline that might affect their business. Right now, we're talking about inflation. We're talking about recession. We're talking about the fact that over 50% of people who are applying for personal credit are getting turned down. We're talking about the fact that, hey, it is harder than ever to get business credit. It's just not a lot of money on the streets. Just not. So how are we going to then adjust our business over the next 90 days to make sure that we have enough money for payroll, make sure we have enough money to not have any cash flow interruptions, to make sure that we have enough money to keep running the business? So for me, that's where I'm going. I'm like, hey, man, let's talk about, what's going on with these interest rates. Let's talk about what's going on with inflation and how it could be affecting your business and where we might need to pivot. So that's what you say to people you've already worked with. People who inquired but didn't actually close a deal with, you go with the Dean Graziano. Hey, man, did you ever get your problem solved? Did you ever get somebody to take those pictures? Did you ever get somebody to look at that floor? Did you ever get somebody to start doing your landscaping work? Did you ever get somebody to help you lose weight? Because if you do that, now you got their attention. Because what happens with most people is if they don't hire somebody, then they usually don't solve the problem. They just figure out how to live with it. So again, let's recap. We know we need 4 a day. We know we need to talk to 10 people. We've identified the first 2 groups of people that we need to talk to, which are people who know us, divided into people who've done business with us and people who inquired. Now, the next group is people who know of us. Friend of a friend, associates that we know that might associate with people who might want to give us some money. Word of mouth is the best marketing on the planet because it comes with a free pre-endorsement. Because the very fact that I'm telling you about this person says that you probably can trust them and do business with them. And in a world full of scammers, a introduction, whether it be third party, whether it be email, whether it be at a cocktail party, whether it be in the mall, is 1,000 times better and easier to close. So now we're shifting to, again, we still need to talk to 10 people to get 4 sales. So now we're shifting to the next group of people who know of us. So now what you want to do is you want to reach out to all of your friends and associates, loved ones, with a, do you know anybody? And then you break down exactly what you do. Hey, do you know anybody who's looking for landscaping? Do you know anybody who's looking to have, to go natural? Do you know anybody who's looking to lose weight? Do you know anybody who's looking to have their house cleaned? And you want to consistently do that. Now, the reason you want to consistently do it and keep reaching out over and over again, at least once a week, every couple of weeks, depending on your business, is because problems come in cycles. Okay. Problems come in cycles. So right now, when you reach out to that person and ask if they know anyone, they might not. But 4 days later, they might be sitting in the coffee shop. They might be sitting at work. They might be at church. And somebody brings up the exact thing that you just asked if that person knew anybody about. So now what happens is, because they just talked to you, big, I sure do know somebody. Somebody was just talking about that the other day. Give you an example. Lawnmower's broken. Guys on the internet that I know talking about a guy who helped them fix something similar to a lawnmower, but not a lawnmower. I think it was a generator. Cool. That guy, let me look him up. Oh, he fixes lawnmowers too. I didn't have a clue of who he was. He didn't know me, but I knew somebody who knew him. And he was raving about how great he was. So, of course, I needed the same thing or something similar fixed at my house. I reached out. See, I didn't know him, but I knew of him through someone else. So now, what you have to do is understand that I have to continually keep reaching out, keep posting, keep emailing, keep DMing. Because even though they might not know anybody today, couple weeks from now, somebody might bump into them and actually be talking about the very thing that you've been offering your service to do. And because it goes in cycles, you never know when one of those sales is going to pop up for you. It could be a day where you only got 2 sales. And now somebody you talked to 3 weeks ago bumps into somebody and they then refer them to you. And now you got a sale that you didn't even have to work for. Why? Because the work was already done. But if you're never reaching out to these people and you're never saying, hey, by the way, do you know someone who's looking for the following? How can you then be on their radar and have them out there looking for people who could help you? You know, and I know you're going to say, hey, man, I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to bug nobody. I don't want to owe nobody. I understand all of that. But the reality is, when they have problems, they call you. When they need advice, they call you. When they need money, they call you. So if they're going to borrow money from you, if they're going to take up your time talking about, what's going on in their lives and what's going on with their kids or what's going on, with their boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, they need to be able to help you out with this business. Because when you blow up, they're going to be right there. Because when it works, they're going to want to go to the party. Even if they got to go, sit in the corner and entertain themselves, they still going to want to go. Even if it's not their crowd, you got tickets to a ball game, they going to want to go. So why can't they help you build the thing that they're going to benefit from? The thing that they've been benefiting from. Because whenever they need something from you, you so graciously and so kindly and so expeditiously, in the words of T.I., you give it. Girl, I need a ride. You're on your way. So them same people you give rides to, them same people you listen to, can be the same people who are out here looking for customers for you. So again, we need 4 sales a day. We need to talk to 10 people. We talk first and foremost to the people who we knew, who were broke down into people who've done business with us in the past and people who inquired about business from us in the past. And now we moved on to the second thing, which is people who know of us, which is straight up, have you seen, do you know, are you aware of somebody I could actually get some money from for the thing that I do? And you want to be very clear that, hey, man, this is not some freebies. I am offering said service. Don't necessarily always have to get into price. But, man, talk about the service that you're offering and the benefit of it. The way that you start off with that is, hey, just tell people what the situation is. Right now, interest rates are high, hard to get personal credit, hard to get business credit. Not really a lot of big money grants out there for people to get. Yeah, there's a lot of 2 and 5, but for the most part, that's about all they really offering right now for most small business owners. So we created a way for them to get sales each and every week without needing to get extra funding. And the way that we do it allows them to finally walk into a bank confidently and rank high amongst the people who they would give money to. Figured out a way to make them rank higher with the people who are handing out grant money. We figured out a way to make them rank higher to the people who are offering out opportunities through angel investors and people who are looking to invest their money in stuff. And a lot of that is going to be proven sales track record, which is why, again, we focus on sales so much. You sitting at home, you watching Shark Tank, look at the people who get the real big money. It ain't the people with no sales, it's the people who got sales. Because, hey, man, if you did it bad and you got this far, imagine what you could do if we got together and we worked with it and I gave you my infrastructure and I gave you my game, how much further you could explode and exploit this thing. Always look at the guy from Ring. Now, he didn't take any of the Shark Tank money. However, Richard Branson and those guys reached out to him and took him through the roof. But he had to have sales on a small scale first. See, it's a lot easier to get expansion capital than it is to get startup capital. And what a lot of people think is startup capital is really expansion capital. So what we're talking about right now, getting that people who know you and people who know of you, getting them to spend money with you so you can get your 4 a week or 4 a day, so you can hit your 1,000. You're gonna be able to take that to the bank. Take that to the bank, and then show them, hey man, here's how we do it. We have a proven system, not a business plan, proven system. Because ask yourself, which person would you give money to if your job was on the line? Would you give money to the person who had a business plan but had actually never done it? Or the person who says, hey man, we've been doing it about 5 or 6 months out of a, old used whatever. It could be an old used food truck. It could be a small space inside of another space. It could be a kiosk in the mall. But we actually been doing it. And here's what we've done. Or somebody who's just got a plan saying, well, if I ever got an opportunity, here's what I do. Just asking. So again, let's go back to the top. So we still need that 4, still need to talk to that 10. We've gotten, and I'm repeating myself because I don't want anybody to miss it. So again, we got the people who know us, divided into people who we worked with before and people who inquired about it. Now we got people who know of us. Those are people that we know might know. So we've asked them if they know anybody. And we've consistently followed up on the asking because we know that problems come in cycles. So even though they may not have needed you when the year started, now they got a tax return. Now maybe the car finally did break down. Now maybe the grass is starting to grow and they don't have a lawnmower or a landscaper. And this important. Wasn't important in the wintertime, but it's really important now. Maybe they got a kid graduating, so now they need a photographer. But if you keep putting your name in the hat with your friends and having your friends go out there with you on top of mind, that'll help you get that 10. Now, mind you, we've not talked about social media one bit. Have we? Nope, ain't talked about social media at all. So now let's get over to the social media side of it, because now we got the people who do not know us at all, don't know us from Adam. So now how do we get those people? And I know a lot of us are being sold that, hey man, if we get, a website, if we get SEO, if we do email marketing, all of those things will work. But when you're talking about getting strangers, you got to be good at it. Because ladies, when the last time you stopped for a stranger? When the last time you gave a stranger the time of day? So the idea that you're going to get strangers to give you money for your products and services, sight unseen, is not very likely. Especially when you consider the fact that so many scammers exist. And so many people have been taken advantage of. So many people are really not getting the results for whatever it is they want to get. So now they're a little bit shy to try again. There's so many emotional pieces that make it hard for a stranger to trust anybody. Same people that don't trust nobody are the same people you got to get to give you money in order to be a successful business owner, in order to pay your bills, in order to pay payroll, in order to help mom, dad, your kids, your grandkids. In order for your spouse not to look at you crazy about that money you took out of y'all savings and retirement account to start this business. Again, you want to be on those trips, man. You want to be able to confidently talk about, the next 5 years of your business and not feel like an imposter when you're doing it, but to actually be able to map it out and say, hey, here's where we're trending right now. Here's where we expect to be by the end of the year. And in 2025, the goal is to open up a new location, because my expectation based on where we're going, what we're doing, what we've been doing, and what our plan says is that we'll get here. And if we fall short in anywhere, we got reserves. If we fall short in anywhere, we'll just shift to plan B. Confidently do that. Coolest thing with my clients is, man, to sit down with them and start to see where they say, hey, man, I'm going to get a building in 6 months. Or, hey, man, I just bought a new house. Or, hey, I just made another major purchase. Or I added another person. Or I did, you know, made some upgrades to the technology or whatever. Because I know that they're confident that they're not going to be out of money, if they make these purchases. You see, when you're really getting to the point where your business is good and consistent, where you're hitting those fours every day and you've been hitting them for a while, now all of a sudden, just like when you got a job, you say, oh, I'm going to get a new car. Why? Because you're confident in the fact that the money's going to be there. I want you as confident in your business as other people are in their job. And at some point, you should be more confident in your business than these people are in their job, because you can control your business. So hey, man, if I turn it up a little bit, with the marketing, meaning that now I start reaching out into another group of people. Now I start reaching out into a lane that maybe I haven't tapped to in the past. I know that that's going to bring me some new customers. Maybe because I niched down and said, hey, man, we're only working with people over 35 for the next 90 days. Or maybe because I said, hey, man, we're only working with men right now. So now you know how to use your marketing to create urgency. You know how to use your marketing to tap into a different market. You know how to use your marketing to then create another stream of income for the people who already know you to spend their money on. So now you can start to say, hey, I'm confident that the money's going to be there. So let me go and grab this Range Rover. I'm confident that we will continue to make money. So let me go ahead and get this building. Let me start to invest in something else. You always hear me talk about how Jay-Z, how Too Short, how Master P, how Dr. Dre, and Eazy-E, how their second and third businesses are way more profitable than their music careers. There ain't enough beats to make more money than beats for Dr. Dre. Jay-Z couldn't write enough rhymes to sell more than the liquor, to sell more than the sport agency, to sell more than some of these paintings are worth. He just couldn't. So with that being said, you now have a foundation and notoriety and popularity from being a business owner that you can then, if your sales are good and consistent and you've been hitting those fours that we talked about, that you can then use to get into other markets. Because now your reputation as being smart and wise and great in business carries you into these other rooms. Now you can afford to buy tickets to a mayor's ball. Now you can afford to take people out to lunch. And you take them out to lunch and you pump them for information. Yes, you take them out to lunch and you pump them for information. You get them eating, you get them talking, maybe you get them sipping, and you ask questions so that you can then walk away from that meeting with way more information that you can then use to make some more money. But if you can't get these fours because you're not willing to reach out to the people who know you and the people who know of you, and you're just simply relying on strangers who don't know you to trust you immediately, which we know most times they won't, then you're never going to be in that position to see your second and third and fourth investments start to take hold. Ideally, what you hope would have happened is that you've been investing that money from your job to set up that second business. But if you haven't, you got to get clear on where you're trying to go and who's going to get you there. Again, people who know you, people who know of you. Now back to these strangers. Okay. Now, with strangers, in the words of DJ Drama, hey man, we only talk about what they want to hear. So you have to really focus in and hone in on what the people who are most likely going to give you some money have questions about, are concerned about, are worried about, are thinking about, want to know about, so that you can then position yourself as the answer. People want to know how to make money on the internet. I'm a marketing guy. That's a question I should be answering. People want to know how to hire a content marketer. That's the question I should answer. People want to know what the best cameras are. That's a question that either I should answer or I should do some research about, so that when people look for it on my page, or when people look for it amongst the things that I have podcasts about, that it is available to them. So now each and every video, each and every podcast, each and every post is about stuff that they have a concern about, stuff that they're thinking about, stuff that they're considering, stuff that they want to do, stuff that's keeping them from doing it, so that we can now get them into what's called an enlightenment phase. Website not working, 5 reasons that it's probably not. Then you can reverse it and say, hey, 5 reasons, 5 things that'll make it work better. 2 videos, same topic. How to make it work better, how to avoid having it happen in the first place. But I know that that's something that people care about. Because as a business owner, there's 5 things. There's really 5 things when it comes to marketing. I need my social media to recruit. I need my social media to act as a recruiter. It needs to go out and find good candidates to give me money. So I need my social media to work as a recruiter, going out seeking all over the globe people who would be a good candidate to give me some money. I need my website to act as a closer and a cash register. So when I go out and I use my SEO and I use my social media to answer their questions, things that concern them, things that, stop them from getting to their ideal outcome, ways to get to their ideal outcome faster, easier, with less stress. Now I get them over to the website. They come running to the website. Now my website got to close them, baby. It got to tell you exactly what we do, exactly why it's beneficial to you, and where to buy. So now you've been looking at the website for about 5 minutes and you can't find it, because you probably really won't get 5 minutes, by the way. Let me be very clear. But let's just say you've been looking at it for 5 seconds and you can't find in 5 seconds where the buy button is. You gone. So now I spent all this time, all this money, all this effort to get you to the website. And the 5 seconds you were there, you couldn't figure out how to buy nothing. On to the next, on to the next. So I need my website to close. Show people how to buy it. Show people why it's beneficial to use it. So now when you get over to the website, hey, who we are, what we do, why it's beneficial to you, here's how you buy. Boom, boom, boom. Go all the way down the website with buy buttons, as many places as you can get them. So whenever that person decides they want to give you money, they don't have to scroll back to the top. But now, I also needed to get people who didn't buy. I need their information. Because I can't get a sale without no information. How to contact them, how they can contact me. We need to be in rapport and communication with one another. So I need my email marketing to work as another salesperson. Because my man didn't get them when they first came. Website didn't get them. But they still walking around. They still thinking about it. They gave me their information. I gave them an ebook. I gave them a video. I gave them, a free, 30-minute call with me. By the way, you can go over to Grown and Rich and get your own free 30-minute call. But I gave them something to get their information. So now I need my email, need him to be working. Sending them emails, the emails getting out there, closing. Why? Because that allows me to make money without having to do anything. They might read that email at 2 in the morning, decide to buy. Again, problems come in cycles. Maybe when they went to the website, they wasn't quite ready yet. But they gave me their information. They kept checking in. So now on the day when I only got 2 sales, I might get 3 sales from an email marketing campaign. You know, day when I only had 2 sales, I might get 1 email marketing. I might get 1 referral. I might get 1 from somebody I reached out to who didn't have the result that they wanted when they hired that other person. Yeah, reach out to people who chose somebody else too, by the way. So now I only had 1 that day. Now I got 4 on the day that I only had 1. Because problems come in cycles. So now some people might have circled around to me or cycled around to me who didn't need me when I first reached out to them. You know, I go back to when I worked in recruiting. I've set records in recruiting, by the way. But I go back to working in recruiting, and I bumped into this girl one day. And she was like, man, I just want to thank you so much. And I'm like, why? She's like, because you called me every other day for 2 years. Now, I'm not saying that everybody needs to call everybody every other day for 2 years. But the idea that I picked up that phone every other day, and that might even been a bit of an exaggeration, but it felt like it to her, you know, for 2 years. And I couldn't tell you her name to save my life. Don't even remember the day she came back. But I bet the day she did come back was the day I needed her to come back. You know, there were times, man, when I was trying to, you know, because if you don't sell, you don't stay employed. So there were times when people would just walk in. You got somebody in the lobby. But that would be from work I might have done 6 months ago. Straight got one sitting in the lobby when I needed one to keep these people off my back, to keep the write-up off my desk. Love. But the only difference now is when somebody reaches back out to me, they reach back out to pay me. They don't reach back out to pay the school. They don't reach out to pay the company. They reach out to pay me. Same thing for you. You know, so if you have a pipeline, even if some of the people in your pipeline haven't bought yet, when they finally do buy, they're buying from you. They're giving you that capital. You're getting that wealth transfer. You're getting that increase. But if you're not doing any of the things necessary, because remember how we started out this conversation? You know, I want to do $1 million. Okay, well, how many people have you reached out to? How many people do you need to reach out to? You know, are you priced to do $1 million? And all I got was, you know, big saucer eyes and a bunch of no's. You know, and I know you might be sitting at home like, that's just so harsh. Here's the reality. It's not about being harsh. It's just about being honest with yourself. You know, my goal is to help as many people as possible. And I can't help you by saying, okay, it's cool not to work. That's not what my coach tells me. My coach ain't like, hey, it's cool. You know, he tells me, hey, man, you keep spending money like this, you're going to have to go get a 9 to 5. He says, hey, man, you keep, you know, moving the way you moving, and you're going to have a problem in the third quarter because you're probably going to be out of operating capital. You know, so you need to cut your spending. You need to increase your client roster. You need to be able to raise your price. You need to be able to do these things. So when you get to third quarter, you can be set up properly to do the things that you want to do for you, your family, and the people around you. You know, and here's a real moment of transparency and honestness. You know, the honestness in all this is that if you don't do those things, man, you create this stress level that your heart might not be able to take. So now your blood pressure's up, and now you have no way getting it down. Just simply because you put yourself behind such an 8 ball. You know, you put yourself behind so much that now you're so stressed out that your heart can't take it. You know, and you don't want to do nothing. You know, I ain't had a sale. I think I'm just gonna go get me a gig. And then now you walk around and you say, hey man, it didn't work. But the reality is not that it didn't work. You didn't work. Now I'm giving you a step by step. You need 4. You talk to 10. If you get real good at talking to 10, maybe some days you close 6 out of 10. You get real good at it. Maybe when you only have 6, you close 5 out of 6. But you can never get to the point where you're closing 5 out of 5, 5 out of 6, 6 out of 10 if you never start. Like I said, you probably got a good product. You just don't have good work habits. You probably have a good product. You just don't have a good system. So if you improve the work and the output, you just get luckier. You just get luckier. I ask more people if they know somebody, I get luckier. I circle back to people who didn't get nobody yet and they still need some help, I get luckier. I circle back to people who already know me to see if they want to work with me again, I get luckier. And then all of a sudden, the people who hate me, don't like me, can't stand me, they looking at me like, man, I thought I had them. No, you didn't. I know you thought you did, but you didn't. You did not. Because I worked my way out of it. They thought you were down. They thought you wasn't going to make it. Said you'd never be nothing. Said you'd amount to nothing. Talked about your little business and your little events. Man, if for nobody else, you need to work hard enough to kick their butt. Work hard enough to make them eat their words. Work hard enough to make them like, ugh, I hate them. Don't get a hater's the satisfaction of seeing you fail. Really? Where they do that at? They might see you struggle, but they'll never see you fail. Again, we'll take it Bible. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. So with that being said, figure out where you need to be in the next 90 days. Now I'm going to give you this quick little breakdown. We got about 3 minutes left, so I'm going to give it to you real quick. Figure out where you need to be. Figure out how many people you need to get to buy something. Figure out how many people you need to talk to. Then, once you have those people, now you start working your referral game. Because now you're taking people who didn't know you, people who knew of you, and now know you, and you put them in the same boat that you put the people who knew you in, which is, do you know someone? So now every time you get a customer, that customer gives you 2 customers, and you keep reaching out to customers, what's going to start happening, man, is you're going to start having people, when they have a problem that you forgot you even talked to, bringing you business. You're going to start having people that you forgot you even talked to out here selling for you, bringing you business. So now for the next 4, 5, 6 years, this ripple effect is going to be in effect for you. Because when you get one, that one gives you 2, and that person gives you 2, and that person gives you 2. And then some of those people buy from you again. And some of those people bring people to you, and they buy from you. So now, how much work are you really doing? If you got people you forgot you talked to showing up and giving you money. If you got people you didn't talk to showing up giving you money. If you got people who've been thinking about it, finally decided to do it because they saw somebody else do it and get the result that they wanted, now decide that you're the person to get them the same result, but you ain't even talking to them. They just looking at what somebody else did and somebody else said, and it says, hey man, I want to do business with you too. I don't have a guy to cut my grass, and I love the way their grass looks. So I'm just going to walk on over there and say, hey, man, can I get dual card? You ain't have to work for that sale, but you got it. But you got to make sure that you handing out your card. Hey, man, if you ever see anybody in your neighborhood, somebody drive by, can I put a sign out? Can I give you some cards? So if somebody in the neighborhood maybe sees what we did here and they want us to do it for them too. Because people ask, we got our windows done. People ask about our windows. I don't know that dude number. I don't know the dude name. But if he had a card, I'd be like, hey man, call this guy. I don't know if that's the guy that actually did the windows or not, but I know that's how I got in touch with him. If you do the simple stuff really well, then you can eliminate that stuff. Because now I do it so well that I can't do it wrong. No, I post regularly. No, I reach out regularly. I stay on top of my game with the customers I do have. If you can say those things, the next 5 years are going to be sweet. That's it, man. This has been another episode of Successful. That's right, successful marketing, sales, and relationships. And I usually add the relationships because it takes people. You got to know people, got to know how to talk to people, got to know how to relate to people, got to know how not to offend or piss people off. So there's some relationship in this marketing and sales that you have to also master. Now, who am I doing it for? Man, we doing it for adults, grown folks. Folks who got kids and grandkids, folks who got aging parents, folks who got their own retirement coming up real soon. You can't afford to lose no money playing with New Business Barbie. You can't afford to get a marketing person that doesn't make you any money. You can't afford to risk thousands of dollars on trying to figure out how to sell big ticket items, only to find out after you've given these people your money, you still don't know how to sell big ticket items. You can't afford that. Got an email person sending out emails, but your emails ain't converting. Got a website person building out a website, but it ain't converting. Got a person doing your posting, but it ain't bringing you no customers. You can't afford that. Why? Because at any given moment, you might have to hop on a plane and go see about somebody. At any given moment, you might have to get somebody's car fixed. At any given moment, somebody might tell you that they're pregnant. And as a daddy, as a man, as a woman, as a parent, you want to be there. And your business is the way that you don't let people down. So if the only thing between you and being the person you want to be on the level you want to be at is doing the things that I told you to do, why aren't you doing them? If all it takes is for you to reach out to people who know you, cut it into two categories: people who done business with you, people who inquire with you, then reach out to people who know people that might want to do business with you, and reach out to them consistently, because we know that problems come in cycles. And then the third thing is to get online and answer questions that you know the people who might want to give you some money have, so that they have a reason to watch you, so they have a reason to trust you, so they have a reason to even consider you, and you're not doing it? Really? Come on, dog. Facebook free. So is YouTube. So is IG. So is TikTok. And all you got to do is just answer the questions. Hey, what do I need to do in order to get the result that I want? Faster, easier, simpler, with less stress. What do I need to not do to get the result that I want? Faster, easier, simpler. You just sit there and make the video and say, hey, you want to lose weight? Here's 3 things that you probably need to stop doing today. Hey, want to lose weight? Here's 3 things that you probably need to start doing today. Hey, want to lose weight? Here's some things that you should maybe consider. All things that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt somebody who wants to lose weight is thinking about. But as always, man, it's been another successful marketing, sales, and relationships for adult business owners and entrepreneurs. I am your host, your business big bro, aka most dangerous man in marketing, aka better than your 401k, best-selling author Sadon Long. And again, I'm telling you again, one more time, take your butt over there to growingrich.com, man, and click that just get started button so you can get a free 30 with me. My work is help generate up into the 8 figures now. I've worked with Emmy winners, Businesswoman of the Year winners, award winners from USA Today and LinkedIn. I'm an award-winning recruiter and a best-selling author. Show me somebody who got a better track record than me. Show me somebody who's made people more money than me. and they're willing to talk to you. And if they are, cool. Can I get a call with them too? Because I'd love to learn. With that being said, man, have another one. Great day. I'm out. God bless.